Good morning or afternoon. I'm Dana Wardwell, Public Works Director, the City of Bangor. This is Jim Dunning, Assistant Manager of Pine Tree Waste, Casella. We're here today to discuss the new ZeroSort recycling program that the City of Bangor will be implementing on July 7th, 2014. Casella will be the contractor that will be picking up the recycling on that date. And I'll go over a few changes that will occur from our current program. Beginning July 7th, curbside recycling will be picked up every other week. Currently we pick it up every week, but that's going to change on July 7th to every other week. The number of recyclable materials that you can put in your bins will increase from the 5 that we collect now to over 20. Also effective July 7th, residents may use any container they wish to use. We prefer that it be a covered container, and that container will be designated as the recycling container by attaching a sticker that may be picked up at Bangor Public Works at 530 Maine Avenue. And when you put that can out to the street, the sticker should be facing the street so that the drivers can clearly see that it's the recycling container. The recycling drop-off area will continue to be on Maine Avenue. It will move a couple of 100 yards down the road towards the airport, and we will have signage up to direct people to that. Also, another change, the type of truck that will be picking up the recyclables will appear to be a garbage truck. It'll be very similar. So those are the changes you can expect coming up on July 7th. What will not change in the recycling program? Residents may continue to use their blue bin to put out their recyclables. There will not be any new containers given out with when the new program kicks off. But again, you may continue to use your blue bin. And there will be no changes in the curbside rubbish collection. That will continue to be weekly pickup, just as it always been, on the same day. And as we stated earlier, the recycling pickup will be every other week on the same day as your rubbish collection. So those are the items that will change and will not change. I will turn this over to Jim Tyler from Casella for some more information on recyclables.
Thank you, Dana. As Dana mentioned, my name is Jim Dunning. I represent Casella. I'm the Assistant General Manager. And most of my time recently has been spent working with local municipalities helping launch new recycling programs. And Bangor is certainly one of these. A couple of things I'd like to mention in regards to the program. The overall goal for us is to make recycling easier for people. Historically, recycling's been a little bit cumbersome. You've had to keep different materials in different bins. We only took certain plastics instead of any of the numbered plastics. So our program is a single bin program, so everything can go in together. When it comes to plastic items, we give some general guidance. What I tell folks is if you can bend it, it can be recycled. We take anything that's a numbered plastic, 1 through 7, as well as unnumbered plastics. So if you were to purchase electronics or tools that come in the blister packaging that you almost have to wrestle to get into, that has flex and give to it. We want that. That's a semi-rigid plastic. Same goes for 5-gallon buckets, plastic sleds, kiddie pools. Those type of items that have some give to them are acceptable in the ZeroSort program. With the fiber products, the paper type of products, we take cardboard, chipboard, newsprint, office paper. The rule of thumb there is if you can tear it, it can be recycled. Yeah, so almost all your fiber product that you're dealing with can go into the ZeroSort program. What we do not take, and this can get confusing at times, is napkins. You'll see napkins a lot of times have a little recycling emblem on them. The challenge we face with napkins and paper towels is by the time they have been downcycled to that product, there's just not a lot of fiber product left that can be reused. So they're also typically contaminated with food waste or whatever else was wiped up with them. So napkins and paper towels are not part of the fiber. We take all the different colored glasses, clear glass, color glass. You don't have to take lids and caps off. Tin cans, aluminum cans, metal cans, any type of those containers, those are all acceptable in the ZeroSort program. Those are a couple of the highlights that we share. The town has a website that goes into detail on the do's and don'ts of what is and is not acceptable. But those are the general rules that help folks make the decisions as to what can and can't I put out there. As Dana mentioned, the program's shifting from weekly to every other week collection. And at first, a lot of people might consider that as a step backwards. But really, when you think about recyclables, recyclables don't contain food waste in them. So there shouldn't be an odor. You shouldn't have pest issues. You shouldn't have any type of rodent issues for holding onto your material for 2 weeks. And what we've seen a lot of on the streets of Bangor already is that most people aren't putting their recycling out every single week. They just don't have enough. So the every other week transition should be a smooth transition, and it's a transition that we made with the City of Old Town about 1.5 years ago, and it went off very well. So we've had a lot of experience with local communities. Many are enjoying the success of this program. We've got about 50 communities throughout the state that are part of a ZeroSort program. So we welcome the City of Bangor on board, and a lot of folks that live here in the city may be doing this at work. We've got almost 2,000 commercial accounts throughout the state. So it's not an unfamiliar concept for a lot of folks. The University of Maine's been doing this for a couple of years now. So it should be a very smooth transition, and our goal is just to make it easier to recycle, get more out of the waste stream, divert that material from incineration, help the environment, and make it easy. So appreciate your time, and I'll turn it back over to Dana.
Okay, thanks, Jim. If you need information on the program, you can go to the city website, bangormaine.gov, and you can find all the information on recycling and rubbish there. Also, you can call at 992-4545, and you can get information on all solid waste, recycling, rubbish, hazardous universal waste. So anything that's a solid waste, you can get information on what to do with that by calling 992-4545. So at this point, we'll open it up to questions. So.
Certainly. What Nick asked was how much are we seeing an increase in recycling from other municipalities and in our experience, and what the observations and what the measurements have been. And historically, what we've seen, I'll use Orono as an example. Orono launched last July, and they did not implement any type of pay-as-you-throw system, just as Bangor is not. It was just a conversion of the recycling program to the ZeroSort program, and we're seeing at least double the volume at the curb. And that's not unusual. Typically, we see at least a doubling of volume with the ZeroSort program just because of the expanded product range and the fact that it's simple. It all goes in one bin. You can use your trash barrel, put a sticker on it. It's now a recycling barrel. We make it easy for people, and you just have so many more folks recycling that didn't because it was inconvenient, and then you've got the people that already were that are recycling that much more. We do have communities like Old Town and Brewer who have seen a tenfold increase in their recycling, but that was also with the addition of a pay-as-you-throw trash system. So the range is anywhere from double to 10 times. Bangor, what I would hope for is we see at least double that mark. I'd like to see greater than that, but that is our expectation, that we're going to at least double what we're picking up at the curb right now.
I take this moment to emphasize that the City of Bangor is not, and I emphasize not, going with a pay-per-bag system. So rubbish collection is still free to residents in Bangor.
Are you gonna still have the, center open where you put cardboard and that stuff? Yeah.
The question was, will the drop-off center still be open? Yes. The location is going to move a couple of 100 yards down the road on Maine Avenue. It'll be actually in the Public Works compound instead of across the street from Public Works. But the answer to that is yes.
Absolutely. The question is, what is the impact to the environment because we're diverting this material from the incinerator? The nice thing with the ZeroSort program is we're involved in the collection, the sorting, and the brokerage of all this commodity. So we sell the commodity back to mills throughout the Northeast region, some export markets. So these items that were once thrown in the trash and were going to the incinerator facility, which does create energy, are now actually being turned into something new. As to quantifying greenhouse gas emissions and things like that, that's certainly something that we do, and what we'll do is we'll look at what the numbers are, and we can come up with some equivalencies for the city to be able to report back on what those efforts have landed at and just exactly what those tangible elements are. But when you think about it just in a high-level overview, it's much better to turn something back into a Polartec fleece than it is to put it in the trash and incinerate it. So that's kind of the high-level aspect. Yep.
Also, part of the reason for going on a bi-weekly schedule is we'll be using less fuel, putting less carbon in the air. Large trucks will be on the road half as much as they would be with weekly collection, so that was a consideration also. The FY14 recycling program was roughly a net of about $225,000, and the curbside collection, along with the fuel and some other incidental recycling costs, to be around $135,000 a year, so about $90,000 a year savings.
I'll leave that one up to Dana.
Cost. We finally got a very favorable bid that, along with all the other environmental factors, that made it feasible for us to make the switch.
And also, I'll mention that Bangor's a very large community, and I can understand a little bit of reluctance in a very large community to jump in with both feet. So seeing what Brewer did, what Old Town did, showing that this isn't a flash in the pan, it's here today, gone tomorrow, that Casella is invested in this program, and it is not going to change. I know that was some concern that several municipalities have faced is, geez, we don't want to get into this and then find out it doesn't work out. So after 3 years of doing it, showing what a proven track record demonstrates, we have a facility that we're actually building in Lewiston right now to sort the material, multi-million-dollar facility. It's very obvious that this isn't going away. This is the new way of recycling, and it's here to stay. So it's understandable that there's a little bit of a time lapse there.
And, Bangor for many years was the regional processing center for all the communities in the area. And over time, as those communities started going elsewhere, it raised the cost of our program also. So there are a lot of factors, but it was time. You can use just a regular trash can of the resident's choice. Attach a Bangor recycling sticker to it, which is available at Bangor Public Works at 530 Maine Avenue. And make sure that that sticker is facing the street so the driver can see that it's the recycling container. So.
Also, I live in an apartment building,
The city ordinance provides for curbside rubbish and recycling collection for residences and apartment buildings of 4 units or less. So if your apartment building has 5 units or more, it's up to the landlord to provide for rubbish and recycling. So,
Is there a reason if I wanted to get involved in ZeroSort, if I were to live in a building like that, is there a place that residents can bring their recyclables to be
yeah.
sorted like that?
Yeah, the question was, is there a place for people that live in larger apartments to bring their recycling? Yes. The Dropoff Center at 530 Main Avenue at Public Works is going to be a ZeroSort collection facility.
One thing I just wanted to mention, one of the questions asked was in regards to where can you get a container for your recycling. And what we found in Orono, Old Town Brewer, many of these communities, Herman has a drop-off at the town office, but several of these communities, folks typically have 2 trash barrels. I'm one of those people that always had 2 trash cans. And it's not necessary to go out and buy a new container. As Dana mentioned, the stickers are available. Simply repurposing one of your existing trash barrels, we found to be the most common way for people to embrace the program. You can use Rubbermaid totes. See a lot of Rubbermaid totes out there that are a little bit bigger than the typical recycling bin. So there's a variety of containers. The biggest thing is just having that sticker displayed so that our guys can recognize that, hey, that's recyclable and it doesn't end up in the trash truck. And again, Dana mentioned that it can be confusing, and a lot of folks will notice that the style of truck we use for this is a packer truck. So it looks like the garbage truck, and it very may well be the same truck that picked up garbage a day before, but it is used solely for the purpose of collecting recyclables on that day. And it's just something we like to make folks aware of, that don't be alarmed if you see a packer truck picking up your recyclables. It is not going into the trash. And the truck also has some signage that's prominently displayed to identify it as a recycling collection vehicle.
Jim, I actually have a question that I think you might be able to answer to, that we asked several earlier. You said that you put this in action in Orono, Old Town. Can you tell me one more time what the effects were, the positive effects that you were with this ZeroSort install?
Certainly. The question was the positive effects of surrounding communities that we've launched the program, and what we have seen in communities such as Orono, a doubling of their recycling volume, so we're more than doubling what we're picking up at the curb. What we've seen in other communities, we've seen upwards of a 10-fold increase in recycling volumes with this program and some other methods that have been implemented. So the impacts are dramatic. It's not like you just see a slight blip in your recycling rate. There's just so much more stuff that can go into the ZeroSort that the benefits will certainly be seen on a financial side as well, because every one of those tons that gets incinerated costs the municipality upwards of $80 a ton to burn. So you take that stuff out of the waste stream and you're also saving money there. So not only are you doing the right thing for the environment by giving it a new life, you're saving some money at the same time.
And my last question, what would some of these recycling carts be turned into?
Give you some examples of what the recyclables are turned into. The plastics, a lot of plastic is turned into fleece, so that's a common thing for plastics. Also, new Tide jugs, those type of containers. So the plastic gets chipped up into small little pellets at processing plants and becomes new containers. When you look at the fiber products, the paper, a lot of that goes to SCA Tissue in New York, which is a tissue paper manufacturer. And we actually have programs that allow people to buy Torx paper towels that came from the ZeroSort program. So we complete the loop when it comes to utilization of a recycled product. We also have the glass that goes to a glass refinery and is made into new wine bottles with Saint-Gobain glass, as well as a lot of glass is used for an aggregate in pavement and roadwork projects as a substitute to save the use of virgin soil or save the use of other forms of gravel. Tin cans, aluminum, metal, bikes, that a lot of that stuff goes to mills that will melt the material down, and you're riding on a bike that was made from recyclables from a year before. And if you visit our website, we have some brochures and some information that actually shows kind of what is turned into what that helps people put it in perspective. So those are a few examples. I mean, there's countless things where, you know, some plastic may go to a manufacturer like Trex, who does composite wood. The outlets are endless, so it's a lot of options for material to move.
And how often is being picked up?
The collection is going to occur every other week, so it is a shift from the current collection of weekly to an every other week collection on the same day as your trash pickup day, so you don't have to keep track of different days. Again, the goal is simplify things, make it easy, increase participation, so every other week on the same day as your trash pickup.
And over the next few weeks, Public Works will be delivering door hangers that will have a handy refrigerator magnet that will show the week that recycling will be picked up. So residents can expect those in the next couple of weeks.
Insert in the weekly.
Yeah, and there'll also be an insert in the weekly on July 3rd that will detail the program. So,
Just basically, the announcement, I guess, is when it's gonna happen, and I don't know what you may not have kind of retouched on.
yeah. Well, the ZeroSort recycling will begin Monday, July 7th. So, and that will be every other week after that. So, on the same day as your rubbish. Yep. All set? Good. Thank you very much. We're all set, Megan.
you all.
Thanks.